I have to keep it real with you guys. This tea is a little bit cold today. It's a little bit old, it's a little bit stale, but you guys have been asking for it, so here it is. Today we're going to be talking about Miss Universe Argentina because for the past couple of days, everybody and their grandmother have been talking about her dethronement. Dethroning. Anyways, they took the crown away from her. There's a couple of things that have been said publicly, couple of allegations, couple of accusations, and today I'm here to basically break it down for you guys, but most importantly to give you my opinion about this, because let's face it, dethronements are something that we have been seeing more and more nowadays in pageantry, not just in Miss Universe but also in other pageant systems. It's kind of a trend that we have been seeing going upward, and I would like to share some of my thoughts when it comes to this particular phenomenon. Let me give you a crash course that we are all on the same page. Miss Universe Argentina 2024, her name is Magalí Benejam. She represented Argentina in Mexico and she managed to finish within a top 12 placement, which if you ask me, considering that this was an edition with over 127 contestants, it's a huge accomplishment. By no means this is a small feat. Precisely because of the amount of contestants this year, I must admit myself, even as a content creator, as a mixologist, whatever you want to call me, pageant analyst, you name it, she kind of went under the radar for me at first. When, we started building the hot picks and the favorites and this and that, Miss Universe Argentina wasn't necessarily one of the girls that I will think of in terms of like, ooh, she is the one who can win the crown. But the more that I started seeing about the in-person activities when the girls arrived in the country and whatnot, I did start to see a lot of potential in Miss Argentina. She had the beauty, she had the physique, she seemed to have the attitude. So in a lot of different ways, she was a full package. It's also undeniable based on her performance on stage during prelims and during finals that she was also very prepared when it comes to the performance and to the technical part of pageantry. So when a girl that seemingly has it all and is also able to deliver on stage doesn't get the placement that she feels like she deserves, of course sometimes we will have some mixed emotions and some not well thought out allegations put out there. Magalí unfortunately did not hold back when she provided an interview to a mixologist in her country where she talked about her experience, and she made a couple of allegations that I will be breaking down for you guys here. The very first one is regarding one of her co-candidates, Miss Dominican Republic, where she was saying that she had a really bad attitude, that no other contestants really liked her, that she didn't get along with anyone, and that she thought that Miss Dominican Republic did not deserve to be in the top. She did not deserve her placement, basically. And honestly, what I'm gonna say here is, look, I am in no position to judge, but all I'm saying is that there is a track record. When it comes to Miss Dominican Republic, girls who have competed with her internationally at Miss International, girls who competed with her in Dominican Republic when she was going for the title of Miss Universe Dominican Republic. Some girls of Miss Universe have also shared their thoughts about her, and there seems to be a common denominator, and that is that they perceive some unacceptable behaviors or a certain attitude. I don't know. Look, I have personally only interacted with the girl a couple of times in real life, and people are entitled to like you or not. I don't know if maybe she really does simply have an attitude and treats people poorly, or maybe she's just too focused on the crown and disregards others, or maybe sees everyone as competition. I'm not by any means justifying the attitude, but what I'm saying is that we cannot really go back and change the past. The girl already placed in the top. Whatever happened at Miss Universe happened at Miss Universe, and if calling it out at this point of the game is gonna give you some sort of peace or closure, then go for it, more power to you. But we have to know that all of these things that we go out and put out on social media might have a consequence. So I think that this is one of those consequences, precisely the dethronement. Secondly, she mentioned that there is more about the dethronement of Miss Panama than what meets the eye of what the general audience, the general public knows as of right now. If you guys remember, only like a day or two after the beginning of Miss Universe in Mexico, Miss Universe Panama was disqualified. There were so many rumors about this, whether she got into a fight with Miss Dominican Republic, or she was caught outside of her room where she was not supposed to, or she was meeting with someone that she was not even supposed to be there. For whatever reason, I mean, it wasn't really confirmed, but she was disqualified. She was the very first contestant this year to be booted out of Miss Universe. And Miss Argentina was saying that there is more about this than what the organization has shared with us. She proceeded then to talk about Miss Universe Brazil, who ever since has also been disqualified by her national director, to say that she also had attitude problems. Seemingly, Miss Universe Argentina tried to speak to her in Portuguese, which is the language of Brazil, and Miss Universe Brazil seemed to be ignoring Miss Universe Argentina while at the same time speaking in English to other contestants. I don't know what to tell you. I'm kind of curious to find out if maybe other contestants had a similar experience with Miss Universe Brazil, if maybe she gave an attitude to other people within the staff or other contestants, because honestly, when it comes to Miss Dominican Republic, we have heard so many rumors. When it comes to Miss Brazil, I haven't really heard as much. Although we have to take into consideration that for some reason that we don't really know, she has been disqualified. Her title was revoked, just like Miss Panama's title was revoked, and just like now, Miss Universe Argentina's title has been revoked as well. Miss Universe Argentina also proceeded to say that a lot of the contestants had their own hair and makeup stylists and makeup artists, which they were not supposed to have, as we all know that Miss Universe has a team of makeup artists and hairstylists that work with the organization, who are supposed to make sure that everyone gets equal treatment and access to the same resources and tools, or the girls simply have to learn to do it themselves. I mean, this is one of the pre-pageant preparation and skills that the candidates should be acquiring before they go and compete internationally, right? So supposedly there were people bringing their own team, and listen, I honestly don't think this is by any means acceptable, but I'm also not surprised at all. And the reason why is because when you think about the people who are at the head of the organization as of today, think of Osmel Sosa, for example. He was running the Miss Venezuela competition. He was open about it many times in public interviews about the fact that he will sneak in makeup artists and hairstylists. He will do whatever it takes to make sure that his candidates can win, or they have the best chances possible to obtain the best placement. So again, I'm not justifying this allegation and saying that, it's okay, by no means. But what I'm saying is that I'm not surprised if this was actually happening. The next allegation was about Miss Universe Puerto Rico, because listen, everyone is catching some strays in this particular interview. I don't even know what Miss Universe Argentina was thinking when she went into it, but she did brought up that Miss Universe Puerto Rico was not very friendly for whatever reason, that she seemed to be very focused on her own competition and not really in connecting with the other girls or making friends. This is a difficult one. It's a difficult one because when you join a pageant, the sisterhood is also part of it. But let's not forget, this is also a competition, and every girl is there for a common goal. And girls, you have to remember, you are at Miss Universe, the #1 pageant in the world, the biggest competition supposedly. Of course, everyone is going to bring their A game. And as much as they can be great women and very friendly people in everyday life, this is not everyday life. It's a very specific context, a very specific scenario. So of course, not everyone is going to be so open and so warm, because we don't really know who is your friend and who isn't, right? The same way that someone can get close to you and they want to be your friends is the same way that someone can get close to you because they want to cut your dress. So can I be mad about this? Partially. I mean, it's nice if everyone is open to being friends and, love and peace. Nice. We love that in pageantry, but also, can you blame Miss Puerto Rico for being focused in her competition? All right, moving on, because there's quite a lot to cover. Miss Peru, she talked about Miss Peru as well. Tati Calmel, saying that she was beautiful, but that also she seemed to be a little bit overwhelmed all the time with what was going on and regarding the other girls as well. But of course that she had a very pure and gentle type of personality. She mentioned that if Miss Peru was able to step out of her comfort zone, maybe she would have a better chance at winning or to simply stand out amongst her competitors. Honestly, I think that Miss Peru was one of the fan favorites since the very beginning. So yeah, of course there are a couple of things that she could have done better, but who asked for this criticism? Who? Literally, she ended up with a continental title. So yeah, she didn't get the crown that she wanted, but at least she managed to make a mark somehow in the competition, right? Now, this is where things get a little bit more hairy, because Miss Universe Argentina went after the reigning title holder, Miss Denmark, our reigning Miss Universe. And she said that Miss Denmark did not deserve to be within the top 12. So not just to win, but she didn't even deserve to be in the top 12 in the same ranking that Miss Argentina obtained during finals. Meaning that She shouldn't be up to my level. She is below that. She said that after Miss Denmark's victory, she did not congratulate her because it seemingly during rehearsals they had an issue. They had a conflict, they bumped heads, and she was just not happy or thrilled to see Miss Denmark winning the entire competition. She decided to go separate ways. All right, I mean, we can respect that, right? She proceeded to add that the top 5 of the competition was completely rigged and that the judges were looking at themselves in confusion and not believing what was going on the moment that the top 5 was announced, because seemingly the results that were announced on stage was not the same that the judges determined through the voting and the scoring that was going on during finals. Personally, I think that if this was the case, some of the judges would have said something, at least publicly. Usually these people don't have an NDA or anything of the sort, so if they really were so confused and so outraged, they would have simply just said something, no? Because the previous edition of Miss Universe was won by Chinese from Nicaragua, there were rumors that no girl from like a Spanish-speaking country or with black hair could win this year because Miss Universe was looking for a different prototype. So Miss Universe Argentina felt like already going into the competition, she had a disadvantage as she is coming from a Spanish-speaking country. And also her national director requested that she change her hair color from black to more of a blonde, lighter hair color to make sure that she doesn't fall under that stereotype that supposedly Miss Universe was trying to stay away from. It's not really a surprise to me that Miss Universe will be looking for a different prototype, and this is something that we advise the girls, no matter what, no matter the edition, whoever just won, a lot of candidates usually try to replicate that. And what we usually tell the girls is like, there's already one Shanice, one Arbany, one Catriona. You should be yourself. So, you know, brand yourself after who you want to be, not trying to copy someone else. So I think that this was like, perhaps like, okay advice. I don't think the hair color would have really determined so much, but honestly, okay, if she felt like that or the national director felt like that, they're entitled to their opinions, and it wouldn't be the first time that we see like back-to-backs in terms of continents. I mean, so it's not because Shane is one and she's Latina and speaks Spanish that suddenly they won't crown another Latina right after. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. So to continue the saga with the reigning queen, Miss Argentina was saying that she was giving certain treatments that other candidates did not have access to, having with her members of the organization, 3 or 4 of them at a time, in order to accompany her everywhere, seemingly just to protect her. I'm not really sure about this. Honestly, I never saw it in person there in Mexico, but she also mentioned that perhaps the strategy of crowning Miss Denmark was simply because they wanted to expand the market in Europe and they simply wanted more people from the continent, basically from those countries, to buy Miss Universe license. Lastly, there were a couple of comments that were pretty much out of line, and this is really what made the organization want to make a public statement and teach a lesson using Miss Argentina as an example. And that was, something was brought up insinuating that the reigning Miss Universe had an affair or a relationship with Raul, the CEO, the owner, the president of Miss Universe, and that there was something sketchy, romantic, or even more going on behind the scenes. Look, we have heard so many rumors, we have heard accusations and whatnot, but let's remember this, the pageant is already in the past. You ended up with a pretty decent ranking when you consider that there were over 127 contestants this year at Miss Universe. Finishing within the top 12 is a big thing. You not being satisfied with the winner or the way that things turned out, or those who ranked higher than you or lower than you or whatever it is, you're entitled to those feelings. But I think this is when it's important for queens to really be able to filter their emotions and put them aside and just know when it's appropriate. There's a time and place for everything. And if for whatever reason you decide that, you know, this is my truth, I need to speak my truth and come out with it and just share my opinion, more power to you, but please come out with evidence. We need like factual evidence. We cannot just go out like throwing accusations and pointing fingers left and right just because I am unhappy that I should have had more. So anyways, because of this, Miss Universe issued an announcement, an official statement alongside the Miss Universe Argentina organization where they publicly dethroned Magalí, saying that she was no longer able to use the title of Miss Universe Argentina 2024, and the organization was simply cutting ties with her. Honestly, I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. As I said, not just about Magalí and what it represents for her, but also this being a trend which has been ongoing in pageantry. And let me tell you something, just a little bit of tea over here. There's actually a couple more dethronements that are upcoming, pending, in the process that I cannot talk about, of course, but that are in the works. So let me know, why do you think this is happening? Is it simply because we have a lot more contestants? Is it simply because of changing mentality, values, and overall environment of the pageant industry? I don't know. I will read you down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. See you on the next one. Bye now.